Hello and welcome to semifinal coverage of Grand Prix Sacramento. I'm Brian David Marshall, joined in the booth by Pro Tour champion Jacob Van Luna, and you are watching Marcus Long up against John Walski. Marcus Long calls this deck his magnum opus. It is a mono red deck with 3 copies of Volley Veteran, a ton of goblins, and Sarkhan's Unsealing.
This deck looks absurd. I like that he even plays a double cast.
Yeah.
Just like double cast an Act of Treason or a Lava Axe. And
I would love to see a double cast Lava Axe. That would make me very happy. All of his cards just in one row here on his deck sheet. And you see the 2-drop Dark Dweller Oracle. And there is the Skyrider Patrol. It's a card we saw Max Mick open when we watched him draft, and John Walski ended up with it. Nice looking green-blue deck here for John Walski. I'd be curious to see how it matches up against this mono-red book of matches.
John Walski with an insane start here. Drew to the Cowl into a turn 3 Skyrider Patrol when he's up against just a 2-2 from Long. Long's deck may look much more impressive on paper, but in this game 1, John Walski on the play.
Oh, I think this is a tricky matchup.
Nice.
I think this is a tricky matchup for Marcus. Especially if John can get a couple of activations of a Skyrider Patrol to push a creature past where Marcus's damage can reach it, and also if he can just stick one of his really big fatties.
John Walski, only 1 island right now, so it's going to be a little difficult for him to activate that while also casting spells.
Yeah, decides to just get in with the Skyrider Patrol. Oh, now he's got a Dryad Greenseeker there. And now he's going to play a mirror image, copying the Skyrider Patrol. There were 2 of them at the table. He only has 1.
You can make it into 2.
But he is going to make it into 2. And with mirror image on the stack, you see Marcus Long throws 2 shocks at the Skyrider Patrol. And then John Walski has to copy something different, and he makes it a copy of his Dryad Greenseeker. Boo-hoo. We are Groot.
Yeah, with 2 of those in the battlefield, it's unlikely John Walski will be drawing anything but gas after the turn in which he untaps here.
All right, well, in comes the Oracle. I'd be curious to see what kind of blocking John Walski's interested in. None of it.
And no blocking is actually quite surprising to me, and this is a really nice bluff here from Marcus.
All right, well, there's an Electrify taking down one of the Dryad Greenseekers. And this has not been the explosive draw that we've seen come from Marcus in the quarterfinals. Activation on upkeep of the Dryad Greenseeker there. I know it looks like a mirror image, but it is a Dryad Greenseeker. There you get a look at John Walski. And there you get a look at Marcus Long. All right. Gets in with the Oracle again. Now it looks like this time John chose to block with the Druid of the Cowl.
That means it could be something like a Totally Lost. He's planning on playing here.
There's an Electrify taking down the other Dryad Greenseeker. You want to know how much respect that card earns, in the top 8 of a Grand Prix. There you go. 2 premium red removal spells on a lowly 1/3s from John Walski. Marcus Long invested 8 mana to kill 5 mana worth of creatures. All right, there's an even win mage for John.
And Marcus really wants that one of those early starts where he's able to pressure the opponent's life total and make cards like Lava Axe and Act of Treason into actual game winners. The fact that John is still at 18 could prove to be a pretty big problem for him.
Yeah, here we see Goblin Motivator giving haste to a Bogart Brute, and both creatures get into the red zone. And Marcus, interesting, Marcus chooses to kill the Druid of the Cowl rather than the Aven Wind Mage. Just realizing that he does not want to be in the business of fighting against the Colossal Dreadmaw.
Yes.
A little bit outside of Red's ability to take care of. And now Aven Windmage gets in for 3 thanks to that Totally Lost that you sort of saw coming there. All right. Marcus plays his creature, gives it haste, gets back in. There's a Sky Scanner. Nice little just card, draw for putting it out to the battlefield, gives him a little body on the ground. Nothing
And this
too
is
exciting.
It's kind of interesting because, John is used to playing a format that is very much about race math, and that race math is going to be very hard to do playing against a deck like Marcus's.
Here you go. Well, look at that. You see that Marcus is using the ability of his Oracle to sacrifice a Motivator, but the card he was able to play off of that, another Motivator. Highly motivated.
An overachiever.
Yeah. So what are we going to see from John Walski here? Okay, Scholar of Stars. That's going to draw him a card. Got to pay 1 more mana for it. Marcus Long just leaned in. Didn't say anything, just waited. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
I like that.
In for 3. All right, we see a Goblin Instigator is the draw there for Marcus. That's kind of interesting with the Oracle, right? It gives him 2 bodies to just try to go find a better card with.
Yeah, and had he does have a lot of instants, so against ground creatures, he can even, block and then sacrifice, buy himself time while he finds his cards of note.
See, he gets a land there, and now plays the Instigator and passes the turn back.
And that Scholar of the Stars, Mark is not interested in trading here. Understands the power level of active treason off the top. Perhaps perceives that as his route to victory.
Oh, how about a skilled animator here? And he's like, I would like to have a 5/5 flyer. He's like, well, yeah, your skilled animator's on the board. Hold on. He's like, I'm going to sacrifice this and see if I can't find a shock. He's like, all right, no, I didn't find one there.
That was not a shock.
And there's Titanic Growth to finish things off, possibly. Nope, Volley Veteran was the card that he revealed. He's can't play it, and Marcus Long picks them up. John Walski takes game 1 with blue-green.
Yeah, and I mean, that turn 2 Druid of the Cowl into turn 3 Skyrider Patrol, just putting a ton of pressure on Marcus. Marcus having to aim removal spells at those green Seekers, at the Skyrider Patrol. And it really, what that came down to is that Marcus had one of those draws where he had to be using his removal spells reactively. Marcus is the type of deck where he wants to have creatures on the battlefield already when he's casting those removal spells. He wants to be using those removal spells to both get a card off the other side of the table and crack in for damage. The fact that he didn't have the Motivator on turn 1, the fact that his 2-drop was immediately met by a 1/3, that really took the wind out of Marcus's sails.
Yeah, walk you through the creatures in Marcus's deck again. He's got 2 Bogart Brutes. He's got that Oracle. He's got 1 Instigator. He's got 3 Goblin Motivators. He's got a Goblin Trashmaster.
Oh man, that's like the best card in his deck, right?
Yeah, he's got an
Except
Inferno.
for the Volley Veterans.
Yeah, he's got an Inferno Hellion. He's got 2 Anaki Ogres. He's got 3 Volley Veterans.
Whoa. In his deck, they're basically just Flame Tongue Kavus, right?
Yeah. They are capable of dealing a lot of damage. And really, John Walski's deck is not a deck that's going to remove much from the board other than a little bit of tempo plays with removal spells, possibly to see see if he had any rabid bites or anything like that. Let's take a look. No, he doesn't have any real removal. He just has a little bit of bounce.
Yeah, Marcus with goblins.
Yeah, I mean this is just mono red goblins.
Yeah, I have not gotten an opportunity to play against or with a dedicated goblins deck. I think I've played against somebody who's trying to be that, not quite so successfully.
And when Volley Veteran enters the battlefield, deal damage to target creature an opponent controls equal to the number of goblins you control. And the goblins can get out of hand, and then they get, the goblin. This gets haste if there's a goblin motivator in place, or clear your blocker, get in for 4. If he has a Sarkhan Unsealing on the board.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It can 4 to the face in addition to killing a creature. He doesn't have goblins in his deck where the Volley Veteran could be killing things like Colossal Dreadmaw.
Yeah, he does. I mean, certainly combined with a Sarkhan's Unsealing. Again, he does have that 1 copy of Inferno Hellion in the deck if he wants to just get that sweeping effect with his Sarkhan's Unsealing, his 1/7 power creature to just kind of like wipe his opponent's board, give it the Flame Wave.
Yeah, 4 damage to everything they control and them.
Yeah.
Sarkhan's Unsealing is a really nice card. I've had a double Sarkhan's Unsealing deck. It felt good.
All right. Marcus is first. And Marcus said he drafted a deck very similar to this earlier in the day. Not quite as good, but was a deck that he 3-0'd with. It was also mono red. I think it may have touched a little bit of black.
And red is definitely I think red and black were the least drafted colors, probably. The better players in the room seemed to, when I was looking over their shoulders during drafts, favor blue. But as a result, maybe that was overdrafted.
All right, so Marcus Long gets in with a Goblin Motivator here. As they're underway. No play here on turn 2 from John Walski. I know we weren't overhead, but I recognize the body language of the Goblin Motivator.
I was impressed.
On turn 1.
Like, how did you know that?
And then turn 3, Anaki Ogre gains haste and gets in for 4. John Walski, a quarter of the way dead here. Skyscanner is his turn 3 play, so not the explosive draw we saw from him in game 1.
Yeah, he's also on the draw here, so.
But it looks like Marcus Long might not have a 4th mana. He's holding a fistful of cards that are on the upper end of his curve, including a Volley Veteran. Looks like he's got a Lava Axe in hand. And John Walski has fallen to 11 here. There's that Skyrider Patrol. Oh, there's Sarkhan's Unsealing in his hand, too.
Oh, my goodness.
He's got everything. Just needs to find the mana to deploy it.
He even has a Lava Axe in his hand.
Wow, look at this. Look at the respect that John Walski's paying here. Again, these players have looked at each other's deck lists, and he's like, I'm going to trade this like premium build-around uncommon and trade it for your Anaki Ogre. And so there's a Rock's Oracle. John draws another card.
Wow.
And still, that 4th land is eluding Marcus, and he just has to say go. John has to be breathing a huge sigh of relief here. And he's going to get to the fatty part of his deck here. And now he can turn the tables, and he comes in with a Rock's Oracle.
And Marcus's deck is pretty low to the ground, too, in terms of casting costs. He has, a fistful of all of his most expensive cards.
So there's an Aven Windmage. There's an Explosive Apparatus. And there is land number 4. And I'm curious to see how he plays this. He is chock full of 4s here. He's got the Volley Veteran. He's got the Sarkhan's Unsealing. He's got triple Electrify.
I think you want to just lead with Sarkhan's Unsealing because you're not going to die in the following turn, and he has the Hellion in hand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
So
there
he's
is
just-
Sarkhan's Unsealing. Whenever you cast a creature spell with power 4, 5, or 6, Sarkhan's Unsealing deals 4 damage to any target. By the way, not just to creatures.
Oh yeah, you can dome.
Yeah.
It ends the game real fast.
Yeah, you can deal
And-
with planeswalkers, you can
Yeah.
deal with players.
Do you want to know what's crazy? If he plays the Hellion on the following turn, and then activates the motivator targeting the Hellion, he wins the game.
Oh my gosh.
The game just ends. So he's just been stuck on 3 lands doing absolutely nothing while his opponent just gets to, have his cake and eat it too. And next turn, Hellion in conjunction with that motivator
Oh my gosh.
will just win the game on the spot. That's 11 damage. And it will also kill all of John's creatures. So it'll be like, it'll not only be like he wins the game on the spot, but it's also like, perfect.
All right, well, let's see what John can do here. He's got 6 mana.
And even if John has a counter for the Hellion, the Unsealing still triggers.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't have to enter the battlefield. It's just a cast trigger.
Doesn't have to resolve.
Yeah.
Oh. There you get a look at the Unsealing. Now it looks like we're going to see a divination here from John Walski. Yep. He's going to draw 2 cards. Now curious if he'll keep that explosive apparatus mana up to take out that motivator, not knowing what's coming next turn. You know what? He's getting in here. And he's got Titanic Growth. So that's a 4. That's 8. That's 9. That's 13 damage coming across here.
Wow. Getting Marcus all the way down to 3, and he has that explosive apparatus on the battlefield.
Just going aggro with
Oh, never mind.
the
I'm sorry.
Titanic Growth. Oh, he gets him down
It's
to
9.
7.
Yeah, the block on the Rockstorm.
Oh, right. We hit the block.
Yeah.
And there you see Inferno Hellion, and that is going to clear John's board. And he is going to take 4 as well. Wow.
Yeah, that's absolutely unreasonable.
Marcus Long scuffled for mana there, but, we get to see the power of Sarkhan's Unsealing here. And there's a Scholar Stars. He's going to get to draw a card. But we know that Marcus will have no trouble dealing the remaining damage here.
Yeah, 7 power creature on the battlefield, has a Lava Axe in hand. That thing tramples.
Yeah.
Volley Veteran can deal 4 to the dome. I mean, he's got a wide variety of ways to win this game.
Gets in with his 7 power trampler. Oh, look at this. He's got the Root Snare.
Wow. All right.
And that means that Inferno Hellion is also dealt with as a threat because once it attacks, it's going to get shuffled in here at the end of the turn.
Yeah. Luckily for Marcus, he can just play an Anake Ogre and kill that Scholar of the Stars. Or he could just go to the dome with it. Though that is a bit dangerous because he is at 7.
All right, there's Volley Veteran. And he's going to use it to just kill the Scholar of the Stars. Doesn't want to take any chances. He only gets to do 1 with the Veteran, but he gets to do 4 off of the Sarkhan's Unsealing.
So hats off to John Walski on recognizing the power of Root Snare, especially against cards like the Hellion.
All right, let's see. Is this going to be a Colossal Dreadmaw? See Marcus just like, oh, yeah, let me let you cut my deck. Of course. It's the Grand Prix top 8. All right, there's the Colossal Dreadmaw. There's a land. Wow, this game is so close. Marcus cannot let that Colossal Dreadmaw hit him. There's 2 extra points of damage there from the explosive apparatus. But he's going to use that to take out the Volley Veteran. He's like, okay. So now we're going to see the Inaki Ogre, and that's going to go face to John Walski. So can John find a pump spell? Can he find some way to get one more point of power out of this Colossal Dreadmaw?
Oh, not quite. Looks like all he found was a mirror image, so Marcus is going to say catch.
Oh, how about prodigious growth? You hear the crowd, and Marcus is like,
oh
my gosh, good game.
Wow.
John Walski with the +7/+7 enchantment on his Colossal Dreadmaw. Wow.
I did not think John Walski was going to win that game after
I'm like thinking, does he have a talons? Does he have an oak? No. He's got prodigious growth.
Yeah, and John, John won that game based on the way he sideboarded.
Yeah, that
he
root snare
sideboarded in the root snare, and that root snare won him that game.
That was absolutely perfect.
So beautifully played on his part.
All right, that means we're going to switch over here to Max Mick versus Richard Liu, as they are here in Game 3 of the semifinals. You see Richard up 21-15. And, wow, we see Angel picking up Knight's Pledge and a Marauder's Axe. And while Richard Liu is just gaining 2 life a turn. And, wow, that's going to be the game here for Richard Liu. And we have a finals lined up here. It's going to be Richard Liu versus John Walski. So it's going to be this John Walski with his blue-green deck, fatties and prodigious growths, and a little bit of counter magic against Richard Liu here. So, wow, that was very fast both times.
Yes, it was.
This has been kind of crazy. Wow, that was super exciting. So, do you have a card of the match here? And I don't even know if we're doing that or not, but I'm just curious. Is there a card for you in the semifinals that stands out?
I'm going to say Root Snare. At the moment was the Prodigious Growth.
Yeah.
Let's go with Prodigious Growth, because there was that one turn he had to draw something. If he didn't, it would be over, and he drew this huge rare.
Speaking of over, it's almost over here at Grand Prix Sacramento. Just one match left to play out. It's the finals. It's coming up right after this. TJ Rogers and Paul Riesel will be here with the call. Don't go anywhere.